Consider this your trigger warning. The following program is strictly satire and is not meant to be taken seriously. So don't get all butthurt, you liberal snowflakes, just because we skewer your sacred cows and expose all your lies and hypocrisy. Truth hurts, and so does satire. So grab a drink, pull up a chair, and enjoy the show.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. I have got a doozy for you, and I'm hoping you've got a doozy for me with everything that's going on. I know Uman has some stuff that's going on. I've got a ton of shit going on. Unbelievable. Just squeaked in the door here at the end of the day and the beginning of this, our Prepared Mind discussion. It has hit the fan, folks. Hit the fan. But, rather than hit the domestic comic SHTF crap from Washington, D.C., I would like to start on the other side of the planet and get into this in some detail. Folks, understand how close we are to shit going off the hook. Okay? You and I both know, we all know that Joe Biden, the U.S. bureaucratic government in D.C., the State Department, the Pentagon, the CIA, and all of their backers, supporters, political hacks, and major mega corporations and banking systems working in conjunction and as equal cohorts in the human trafficking arena and biomedical research and money laundering arena. Oh yeah, it's all real. But don't trust me. I'm just a satirist. I just make jokes at these fuck-ups' expenses. Understand, folks, it's real. And they kept needling and pissing off Putin and fucking with Putin and threatening to make Ukraine a NATO country and threatening to build bases in Ukraine. And Putin knows Ukraine is right next door. So, just ask yourself one fucking question. Why didn't the power elite in the world use some other nation for human sex trafficking, money laundering, and biomedical research other than the Ukraine? Well, I know Ukraine was easiest, so that demonstrates they're lazy motherfuckers. And yes, I'm in a mood today. They're lazy, so they picked the most corrupt country on the planet, Ukraine. Oh, they're so cool. We need to love the... It's not the Ukraine people, folks. It's the government. The government that was put in place by the CIA in 2014 with the blessings, not of the Pope, even though the Pope is now on Zelensky's side, not on the blessings of the power elite, the powers that be, the people who are so lofty that they shit marble and they're off of our visible screen. We can't see their faces, but we feel what they do. And names have come up. Oh, yeah. World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, right? George Soros. Those are some names that we see. Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates. Those are some names. But you're not seeing the royal families. You're not seeing the aristocracy that still have all that fucking gold that they stole out of America 300, 400, 500 years ago. They still have that gold, folks. What they did not spend is sitting in a vault buried somewhere in Switzerland for them. Boatloads. Now, understanding all of that, they're still not happy, so they have to come after and find more ways to steal all of our money, your money. And they choose Ukraine. Is it just because they're lazy? Or do they really want to pick a fucking fight with Putin and think that they can get their mitts and their claws and their fucking teeth and their parasitic fangs on Russia and suck it dry as well? They can't be happy owning the rest of the fucking planet. No, they've got to go after Russia, who will not allow international banking cartels into their country and start loaning bullshit, fresh air, paper printed currency to the Russian people to screw them the way they're screwing Europeans, the Brits, Canadians, Austrians, Australians, the rest of fucking Europe, plus the United States of America, not to mention South America, Africa, and everywhere else. except maybe China. But see, Russia was like, hey, you want to do business with us? You give us vodka? Oh, no, we have vodka. We give you, we sell you vodka. You give us cash. We use your SWIFT system. You do business with us. They kicked them out of the SWIFT system. Russia's like, oh, fuck you then. You can buy our oil in gold. Oh, you don't want our oil? Enjoy your winter, you bunch of dumb fucks. And the European people are like, holy shit. Price of fuel, oil, gas, energy just went through the fucking roof. Don't think for a second, folks, this is Putin wanting to invade Ukraine and risk nuclear war with the rest of the world. It's the other way around. They're fucking with him. And he finally said, that's it. I'm tired of you killing Russian citizens. These areas are tired of being abused by your Azov Nazi battalions. And he rolled in, folks. He rolled into eastern Ukraine. And now, folks, he has cut Ukraine off, right? The Azov battalion, Nazis, guess what? The Ukraine coastal zones, the Azov Sea coastal areas are now done. Russian forces are now blocking, putting mines in the water, and destroying Ukraine infrastructure on the Black Sea, all of their ports. That includes, or should include, Odessa, right? Unless they're leaving Odessa open, I don't think so. I think that they're landlocked. They're going to be landlocked. No more wheat or whatever central and western Ukraine can create. By the way, it was the eastern Ukraine, that part closest to Russia. That was the part that has the mines and the minerals and the productive areas. I'm not saying that the rest of Ukraine can't produce. I'm just saying the rest of Ukraine, will it? They can only sell so much Kiev chicken, folks. I hope you understand how close we are to World War III. The fact that they lobbed fucking drone bombs into Moscow trying to take out Putin. The fact that they've taken out now twice bridges into Crimea, the Crimean Peninsula, places that aren't even part of the war, attacking Russia on Russian territory, not fighting for Ukraine territory or formerly Ukraine territory. This is how dangerous it is. That's right, folks. The Prepared Mind channel. Yesterday, Uman and I, we kind of chilled a bit, had some laughs, goofed off, but hey, it's always back here. It's always in there. That shit has hit the fan, that at any second, jokes are off, and up comes your plan. Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense, and that plan. Is Russia the most badass military on the planet? No. Does the Russian political system control nukes? Yes. Who are their allies? 1.4 screaming billion Chinese. Who's their allies in Russia? However many millions of starving North Korean fucks. How about India, who now has the same population as China? 1.4 billion people. So between North Korea, China, and India alone, I'm not even counting Brazil and South Africa, the BRICS nations who have a economic alliance and a pseudo-military alliance, they have almost half the world's population with just the BRICS nations, folks. That doesn't even count the rest of the countries in South America, the rest of the countries in Africa, the rest of the countries in Southeast Asia. Doesn't even count them. It's unbelievable, folks, the position that these people have put us in. Once again, go back to the beginning of my conversation. Who is it that started this stupid shit? Oh, it's turned out that we've got weapons bioweapons research programs that we share with China and fund in Wuhan, China, funded with American dollars, run by Dr. Doom himself, the little dickhead. Oh, yeah. How many other biolabs are there? How many fucking biolabs do we need? Are they finding cures, or are they finding new weapons to make with diseases? Yeah, they're making new weapons, it turns out. How many labs in Africa? How many labs in South America? How many labs in China? How many labs in Japan? How many labs in Montana? We don't know, because they won't fucking tell us. You don't need to know. It's a need to know only, and you don't need to know, America. Fuck you. You're just paying for it. I would like a general accounting from the U.S. government in Washington, D.C. before I pay them another fucking cent. I want to know where my money's going. Oh, John, your money, we're paying for the roads with your money. Your money is allocated, solidly allocated. It's put in a lockbox that Al Gore himself made so that my money only goes to the road, so I can feel better about myself at night. You believe that? They could take all of our money and put it in a lockbox and put it out for the roads, and they'll still borrow all kinds of other money from the Federal Reserve at whatever the interest rate is, put the money on your bill for later when you're not looking, and they can fund all of their secret bullshit programs anyway. They could give us an accounting, all right. It's that's our accounting from the U.S. government. Now, having said all that, do you really think that Europe, the European Central Bank, Washington, D.C., the Federal Reserve Bank, mega corporations with their mega asshole donors, as we've discussed their names, George Soros and Zark Zuckerberg, do you believe that they actually give a shit? Or do you think they've realized that they just screwed the fucking pooch really bad? Did they think Russia was going to back down, or did Russia see this as an existential threat to the existence of Russia as a country, Russian civilization and culture, Russian law and Russian wealth and Russian assets? That's precisely how Russia saw it. Existential meaning life-threatening, never to return to what they consider to be normal again. In other words, they're afraid of the new Russian normal. Remember when they told us this is the new normal? Fuck you, DC, UN, UK, ECB, Federal Reserve, and every rich cocksucker out there who thinks they own us. I'm in a fucking mood because I see what's going on and where they're taking us. What has got you riled up? I want you fired the fuck up and thinking about this. And what can you do about it? The same thing I've been telling you for years. Prep to action. You have got to write every congressman and tell them, get off your lazy motherfucking ass, impeach that son of a bitch, make an oath something that can be enforceable, create laws to make government accountable by requiring an oath to be followed. And if you don't, you're kicked out of office. It is not up to the Speaker of the House. It's not up to them. It can be tried in court. Did this congressman pass some legislation or attempt to that violated our rights? And you get a jury of 12 people and say, did these bastards violate your rights with this piece of legislation? And you only need 7 out of the 12. We'll make it a civil thing because we all need to be civil. And if 7 of them go, yeah, fucking taking my right to free speech, trying to take my right to a Second Amendment thing that says shall not be infringed, you tried infringing, fuck you, you're gone. And if they did it knowingly, not just kind of, well, I didn't know that was in there, they snuck it in under line 7QRZ 4.62. If they knew it was in there, it's a prison sentence. You sign up to be a congressman, you get great pay, great retirement, great medical benefits. The people will look up to you as a leader, but you got to fucking earn it the whole way. You don't get to go up there, line your pockets, fuck us over, and screw future generations of America for a measly couple of $1 million. You show up, you've got a job to do. They have everything on congressional record, folks. Everything's on congressional record. Why not require them, right, in order to get that sort of, shall we say, perpetual glory? if they don't earn it. Strike their names from the books, everything they said as dishonorable, and throw them the fuck out. If I ran this country, folks, look the fuck out. I would hold these bastards accountable. Right? I would. Declaration of Independence, Constitution, common law, and a book of moral standards to follow. Breathe, John, breathe. 15 minutes on that, buddy. Come on, man. Come on. Cut out the malarkey. This is how the prepared mind was of old. I would pick one fucking topic and I would ride it like a fucking bull into the ground. I would drive it home like a railroad spike for 15 to 30 minutes every day, and then I would walk away from it and go get a fucking scotch. Well, I just did that with this one story. I guess, I don't know, where do I go from here? Do I do it again? Right? Get your questions down below. Get them down below. Get your questions down below so that Uman can take them and put them up in the second half of the show. Today is Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. Am I right on that, Uman? I've got it correct, don't I? Okay, yes, I do. I've got it correct. Today is Thursday. Tomorrow will be Zero Dark 30, followed by the free-for-all. I kind of have a Friday free-for-all attitude right now. I kicked everyone's ass at work today, so I'm ready to kick some ass in DC. I wish. The cowards. This Sunday Night Live, I'm going to require everyone to be there and participating in the comment section because last week was fucking miserable, right? We got new people coming. That's great. I want everyone there, damn it. I want everyone there. Today, I want to ask you, did you fucking see this coming? Did you? Did you see it? The pièce de résistance of everything going on with Hunter Biden. Everyone who's all excited. We've got this fucking guy, right? The judge, who's a Democrat, threw out. Wow, a Democrat judge with some sense of morality threw out his plea bargain, which wrote off and said, you get away from every other crime that you're being investigated from. If you plead guilty to these things and get a reduced sentence and walk away scot fucking free. The judge said, I don't think so. So then he says, fuck it, I'll plead not guilty. There's a back door on the prison, folks. Did you catch this? Did you see it coming? The pièce de résistance. The father of the pile of shit known as Hunter Biden is Joe Biden. And Joe Biden is the president of the United States. And what constitutional power does the president of the United States have that cannot be overridden by the executive branch, the legislative branch, the judicial branch, or any future executive? What one power, which is absolute, does the president have? It is the power to pardon a criminal. It doesn't have to happen the last day of office. It can be any time. The president has the power to pardon. I don't need to go into a long dissertation on the need for such a power, other than to say it was put in place to protect against corruption and evil that could be committed at any level within the federal or national, state, or local government system. That the president could pardon anyone, and that pardon sticks for life. Doesn't protect against future crimes and future fraud and future framing, but it does get you out of jail free. Did you see that coming? Did you think of that? That hell, Joe Biden loves Hunter Biden because that's his son. There is no anti-nepotism ruling in the Constitution. It cannot be reviewed judicially by the Supreme Court. That is an absolute power of the president to pardon his son. One of the biggest pieces of shit in high power this country's ever seen, enabled and placed in position as an immense, powerful pawn, Hunter Biden, whose interests include hookers and drugs. And that's the smartest guy Joe Biden knows. You think for a second Joe Biden, after putting his son, his beloved cocaine, crack smoking, weed licking, hooker banging, and who knows what else that son of a bitch has done illegal, do you think there's anything that would stop Joe Biden from pardoning his son? In fact, as far as you and I know, that greasy old slimy ice cream licking child sniffing pile of crap. It's pretty good, huh? All of this is improvised, by the way. That greasy slimy ice cream licking child sniffing piece of crap could already have signed his fucking pardon and made it for today, for the rest of his term. That in the event Hunter Biden is prosecuted, tried, found guilty, sentenced, he is pardoned for all crimes that Hunter Biden committed from this day back. Once again, they can't look forward and say, well, Hunter Biden, my son, who I think is just brilliant, who I love so much, I'm going to pardon him until the year 2050. I don't believe the pardon can look forward. That's granting someone license to kill and all things worse. But that pardon can forgive a murder. I wonder, ask yourself, did Obama and or Joe, have they pardoned themselves and one another? The Clintons, Eric Holder, did they already pardon every Democrat in Washington? Have they pardoned all of the Democrat governors? Have these presidents, these Democrat scumbags, pardoned one another? Was Paul Pelosi pardoned as soon as he was sentenced? And the judge is like, he's just going to fucking pardon him. I'm going to give him a suspended sentence so that we don't have to fucking learn that he's been pardoned. Fucking jackass Paul Pelosi, hammer ass. Did he get pardoned already? And the judge is like, yeah, you got a suspended sentence. You know, and Paul's like, I already got pardoned. I'm not fucking checking in with a social worker or a parole officer or a fucking anything officer. You know, fuck you, America. We're going to keep screwing you over. That's right, Pelosi's. We know. That's right, Clintons. We know. That's right, Obama's. We know. Obama, right? Can you see Joe Biden in the Oval Office? Obama. Barack, did you have a love tryst with your chef? Did you and Michael Michelle have some kind of problem and he just kind of drowned a little bit in one of your ponds? You're pardoned. Pardon. There you go. Folks, the President of the United States can pardon people on death row. They could pardon, if you're still alive, Jeffrey Dahmer. They could have pardoned Jeffrey Epstein. Now, I happen to know because of a very good insider connection. Not the very top of the inside, but pretty close to the fucking top. I'm very proud of this connection. It's one of my few inside connections that still exists. I got one in the Army, and got one in the world of law enforcement. I got a few super secret squirrel decoder ring insiders that are verifiable. That Jeffrey Epstein's dead. Now, there is one avenue of escape. It wasn't Jeffrey Epstein that really died. The person that was in Jeffrey Epstein's cell that is in the records as killing himself, which actually happened. Whoever this person was in the cell killed themselves, but folks, see that thing? It's called an earlobe. Check out the corpse of Jeffrey Epstein and check out his ears. Check out his face. Tell me that's Jeffrey Epstein. How much do you want to fucking bet that Jeffrey Epstein, folks, was pardoned and they had someone else take his place? Is that so hard to believe in a world where the president of the United States can have his private residence raided by a bunch of a bunch of fruitcakes in the FBI who want to frame him and now prosecuting him again and again and attempting. And in fact, they're trying to say, oh yeah, it's coming. Trump's going to be arrested again. He's going to be indicted again. More charges coming, more charges coming. Never in the history of this great republic, which is no longer a republic, it is a banana republic. Never in this history has a former president been attacked so viciously by what appears to be the most corrupt fucking government and bureaucracy in the history. Never has there been a more powerful country that has gone to south to shit so fast. Even the Soviet Union, as a bunch of communist fucksticks, had the dignity and decency to collapse in a way that didn't result in the entire country going to absolute shit and being run by a bunch of social perverted miscreants, the way the United States of America is going right now under the command of the United States government in Washington, D.C. You, my friends, are good Americans. Everyone who pays their taxes and obeys the law, you're good. The same way I don't hold a thing against the Ukraine people. I hold everything against the Ukraine government. I don't hold a thing against the people of Europe. I hold everything against the EU government and the European Central Bank and the Federal Reserve Bank and all of the aristocracy that wants this shit to happen, including the rich bastards in the World Economic Forum who are pushing this shit on top of all of us like a fucking D11 enormous tractor dug in and pushing mounds and mountains of shit on top of the rest of us and telling us, eat the bugs, you'll be happy. Oh man, I'm gonna bring you on, brother.
Howdy, howdy.
I'm in a fucking mood today.
Yeah, I can tell.
I don't know what happened, man. Everything was fine when I was taking that crack cocaine.
Hey, you got to be careful about that pushing in pounds and pounds of crap when you're talking about the fruitcakes.
It was mainlining chlorine bleach. I don't know, man. I'm just in a fucking mood, you know. I'm in a good mood.
I'm just kind of in a slap happy, dehydrated mood, trying to rehydrate myself.
Are you okay? I mean, here we are, right? We're all busting our ass trying to make ends meet while these fucking people piss down our backs and tell us it's fucking raining. Anyways.
Why should it be any different than it's been in the last 20 years?
I tell you, you know, I just see what's happened. I mean, this is fucking frosting my cake, right? Mitch McConnell, he had his seizure moment or his stroke out. Well, it's been revealed. Whoa! Turtles McShitstick McConnell. I came up with that name today, McShitstick. What do you think of that? Turtles McShitstick has apparently taken a tumble at the D.C. airport too.
Again?
Wheelchair as a precaution in, according to the news, crowded situations. You mean like every fucking where this guy goes, he's in a wheelchair? All of a sudden we don't see it. Who is he? FDR hiding? I mean, come on.
I didn't hear about that one yet.
What? Which part? The wheelchair?
So falling down at the airport one.
Apparently that happened, he pulled a Joe Biden happened. And wiped out at the airport.
Oh, okay. Well, jeez.
Not like he did at the fucking hotel, which put him in the hospital for 5 days.
Okay.
This son of a bitch. He's done. Get him the fuck out of there. Turtles McShitstick. This is where we're at, man. We're in that room now.
Oh my God. What is our country being run by? A bunch of lunatics and cripples and dementia-ridden old people? This is ridiculous.
perverted fucksticks on top of that. You want to speak up against it? All right, right. Who is our representative? The can't even remember his fucking name, out of North Carolina. The young guy, the guy that was in a wheelchair.
Man, I'm blanking.
He wanted to speak up. He said he was invited to a fucking orgy in Washington. Who wants a crippled fucking wheelchair veteran in your orgy? And he was like, oh, there's drugs and orgy everywhere. He says, I'm going to name names. And McCarthy threatened him. This is before he was Speaker of the House. He was just a House minority leader. You're going to shut up. Well, he wouldn't shut up, and so he primaried him.
Oh, that was, I just looked it up. That was Madison Cawthorn.
Madison Cawthorn. He didn't even win the Republican primary, much less the general election that's run every 2 years. He got primaried by Mitch fucking McConnell. Mitch McCarthy. Mitch, that's his name, right? Mitch McCarthy. No, it's Mitch.
McConnell?
It's Kevin McCarthy.
Kevin McCarthy, Mitch McConnell.
There's too many turd suckers in this punch bowl. They all got their heads in it, just chomping away at every fucking turd that floats by. And they grin with it in their teeth. I can't stand these bastards. All right, man. We're going to do it. Let's go to the inner circle. Let's do it now.
All right.
I was just going to give the show to Ooman and get out of my chair and leave. But, that would be wrong of me to do. There you are.
What, turn it back into the Prepared Ooman channel?
Just fuck it. I'm out. Where's my scotch?
Oh, don't leave me like that. The show would be over in 5 minutes.
5 minutes, you'd be like, I'm gonna do one of your news briefs that you send me during the day. You do audio. You do like a 10-second news clip.
Yeah, well, I started doing that because I always forget about all the crap I hear on the radio. So I started sending these little voice messages on our private chat there, and with the updates that I hear throughout the day that are absolutely stupid, like that 122,000 years, hottest thing in 122,000 years.
Here's a new man one. If next year is hot, it'll be the hottest year on record in 1 year, because this year is the hottest year ever. So they can never refer back to the other one. It's just like, that just hurts. It's the hottest year since last year.
Yeah, no more 122,000 years ago. Now they can only say it's hotter than it's been in a year.
It's the hottest it's been now on 222,000 years. We had to go back even further to find a hotter year. Oh, you mean there's been lots of hotter years than this? So this is not uncommon?
Oh, God.
It gets hot every fucking year.
You know what? It's funny with the news cycle. Again, right now, every story tries to tie in this climate change thing. And, that's just where we're at right now. You're not hearing about the other stuff. All of a sudden, everything is climate change. And somebody sent me, our friend Hondo sent me a link to that Glenn Beck video this afternoon that I watched. Not a big fan of Glenn Beck, but it was actually a pretty good little video there. And he was talking about how over since like the 1950s or whatever, this whole climate change thing started, how there have been 50 predictions, of which 0 have come true. And how can people still buy into this crap when they have not been right about a single thing? So one of my projects,
fucking week, much less 5 years ago,
right?
Was in 1993 or 94, when Al Gore said, "If we don't change what we're doing, sea level rise will bury like 20 countries."
All the Pacific Islands will be underwater in 10 years.
By the year 2000, 50% of the cities in the world that are on the coast will be submerged. It's all bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's politicized every time. Fuck them.
One of the projects I'm going to do is I'm going to start compiling a list, see if I can find all those predictions, when they were made, who made them, what the prediction was, when it was supposed to come true, and whether it did or not. And I'm going to put that on the Our Syndicate website.
Give it
so
to
everybody
me also
can,
so I can read it. I'll make a fucking show out of it.
Yeah, I'll put it on the website, and that way, if anybody ever comes and tells any of y'all that, oh, this is real, you can pull this thing up and show them and say, look at all this shit they've been saying for the last 70 years. Not one has been correct. So fight me.
I'll do it. I'll put it so that, let me see if I can do this. I have, slides. Let me see. Here, we'll do this. There we go. I'll do it like this, Oliver, so I can put it up there and just look at them all. This, by the way, is the code for the Prepared Mind channel. It's not some super secret fucking pass to get into the underground Nazi base in Ukraine. It's just a fucking QR code to sign up.
Nice way to cover up that mistake.
Whoops, daisy. But we can put us off to the side, and you can just read every single one of them. That's a great fucking idea, Mr. Uman.
Yeah, give me a couple days to put that all together. Maybe one day next week we can do a show based about nothing but that.
Oh, I'd love it. Now this all comes actually after the Nobel-winning scientist. He's won the Nobel fucking Prize, which means he's got to know something. This is the one who came out and said their climate models, their research is flawed. Period. It's no good. Well, he has been deplatformed and defunded. They destroyed his fucking bank account. They're pissed off at him because he turned on them. Yep. One of their own said, fuck you, it's not true.
Oh, it was the same thing. Who was the guy who founded the Weather Channel? The meteorologist.
Jim Cantori.
Jim Cantori, yeah. No, but he got into all kinds of hot water too because he came out and said it was a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
So
it is. It's been politicized since I think the 1950s. It caught a lot of traction in the 1970s with the claim that we were going to have a fucking ice age.
Yeah, they were going to paint the ice caps black.
What's that?
They were going to paint the ice caps black.
To melt them, to protect us.
Yeah, so we wouldn't go into the ice age, yeah. You know, and then as we, that was from outside here.
That was yours? Okay, I was like.
That was on my end, yeah.
I need to get my bunker.
They're probably coming to swap me, not you today.
All right. If we don't put questions up here, they're going to think it's a rerun of yesterday. The first half of the show, I already, 2 fucking news stories, and I just about, lost my shit. I got freaking turnip sauce all over the place, beating that one to death. All right.
Oh, boy.
You ever heard of that?
You want to throw one up?
What's that?
You want to throw one up? We got about, I think, 6 or 7 in the queue here.
Well, yeah, let's do it. I know I pissed a bunch of people off.
Okay, well, we got a 2-parter from Jane here.
All right, Jane Dixon checks in and said, did anyone else hear boycott of gas on Tuesdays yet? If no sales that day, there will be no taxes taken in, and they'll see what the prices. They will see we want the prices lowered. And she says, "Hi, Charles, Jane. They've tried doing this. Let's boycott gas for a week. Let's boycott gas on Tuesdays or Thursdays, or it's a great idea or concept, which is the purpose agenda behind it is to show the lawmakers we're dissatisfied. We don't like them. We want them to change things. I thought that's what voting was supposed to do, man. Anyways, the idea is to show them yet whether we stop buying fuel for one day or we stop buying fuel for an entire week. Ultimately, we all got to get our cars in there and fill our tanks up. So the longer we play that game, the lower our tanks are, and the more quickly we'll run the tanks dry at the gas stations. Now, I have friends down in Florida, so does Uman, and they say anytime there is the threat of a hurricane coming, people go to the gas station and they suck the tanks dry in less than a day, every single time. And that's not everyone filling up their tanks. It's just those who went, oh shit, I better go fill my tank. And it takes just a couple of hours, and they will drain the tanks in the gas station.
Yeah, I mean, it's just people topping off on not the normal schedule. You know, you go top off, everybody has a few extra gallons that they normally would have bought maybe in a few days, and that disrupts that whole supply chain flow.
It does. Any shock to the system is a total shock to the system. And then the fuel stations have to, follow me here, the fuel station will have to go and start sending their trucks to all the Circle Ks. And so then all the Tosco, I don't know if I have Toscos in the South here, all Atlantic Richfield, whatever they're all, now all of a sudden the fuel delivery trucks, there's not enough of them to go fill up all the gas stations, because just a small percentage went out of turn and filled up from a quarter tank to a half tank, rather than waiting they get down to a quarter tank or it hits the fucking red light stage. But yeah, all of a sudden there's a rush, and the rush takes just a couple hours. Now that alone causes a trickle down fuck you to everyone else.
It was very similar to what happened with the toilet paper, right?
Same story.
They had
many asses to wipe, but everyone stocked up and it was gone instantly.
Yeah, I mean, it started out with that story that Costco in Hawaii ran out of toilet paper, and then everybody ran out and bought a little bit of extra toilet paper, and all of a sudden there was a massive toilet paper shortage. And while they were out there, they grabbed a few extra cans of food and bags of rice, and all of a sudden all the shelves were empty. But the toilet paper companies did not increase their capacity, because these guys know that they're going to sell X number of rolls of toilet paper every year. And if they would have spiked that production and put in a new plant and put on more employees to meet that spike in demand,
that won't exist next month.
Yeah, they were fully anticipating that as soon as that demand was met and there was no longer a shortage, they'd be shutting it all down and laying all those people off again, because they're only going to sell so many rolls of toilet paper a year.
They're not going to suffer the CapEx investment, or CapEx meaning they're going to have to pull cash out of their ass to invest in all that equipment, which will do them no good in 6 to 8 to 12 months when everyone says, well, we don't need any more toilet paper.
Yeah, or for perpetuity, for that matter. They'll never get their money out of it.
They'll get their money out of it. There's so many stories from the RMZ I'm not allowed to share. I loved it when the people wanted to return the toilet paper 6, 8, 12 months after the Cerveza stupidity. And the store said, we don't want your toilet paper. You will not return it. We'll not give you your money. There's still people out there with closetfuls of toilet paper, the dumb fucks, thinking they were, you have that much toilet paper?
Oh, I had closets full before it all happened.
Everyone wants a clean butthole. Shiny and glossy and smooth. What did people do before modern toilet paper?
They would use leaves or their fingers, or the 3 seashell method, I believe.
3 seashells, brother. 3 seashells. Bring them back. I want to know how the seashells work.
No, I don't think I really don't think I want to know.
Shit rag. Shit rag.
Yeah.
Whatever they could get their hands on.
Yep.
So they didn't have to use their hands. We don't want to go back there. I get it.
Nope.
Ah, there it is. I mean, what a conversation. Glittering, man, you did it again. We're talking about shit paper and wiping our butts with our fingers. Way to go.
You got to stop bringing me on screen and screwing up your show, man.
All right. All right. Click on this. This is a way to vote for the next president of the United States. Click on this and it'll take you to Uman's investment secrets. All right. There we go.
And Nikki says you got to grow mullein. You can wipe your ass with it, and that's what she has stocked up seeds to grow it, I guess. So
Nikki can grow her own butt wiping material. Only Nikki.
Absolutely.
When I was at the RMZ, there were a lot of plants I looked at. I thought, which one of these is the one that's going to give me a rash between my cheeks if I have to use it? Crazy stuff.
That's
Mullen.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that, but that's what it is, and that's how you spell it. So go out and get your mullein seeds.
Look out, mullein seed distributors. You're gonna be bought out now. Thanks, Nikki. You just ruined the mullein industry. California, I think we have this stuff called miner's cabbage. It's just this big leaf with lots of soft. It was like felt, like velvet. It was like a velvet leaf, and I thought, if I ever had to, this is the way I would go. We're in that room now, man. Okay, let's do another question. Let's keep moving. Let's get some progress. This is what happens. This is what happens when Jolene takes the day off.
Yeah, right.
She's supposed to keep us in line today. Nancy Cake says, "I have
no
friends who live in." What?
I said, "No more days off, Jolene."
No time off for good behavior. I have friends who live in South Central Illinois, complaining about it too, and gas there had also jumped 30 cents more a gallon yesterday. Steve St. Angelo did an interview on. Let me give you the name of the channel. I watched this guy last night as I couldn't sleep in the middle of the fucking night again.
While you're looking that up, I went to fill up today, and the station I usually go to jumped their price almost 50 cents a gallon since Monday.
Yeah.
And luckily, the stations around here, which is like my second cheapest stations, they hadn't increased the price yet. So I filled up today because I fully anticipate that they'll probably be doing that tomorrow.
If everyone goes, oh shit, I got to go fill my tank before the price goes up further, they'll drain all the tanks. They'll say, see, we got a fucking shortage. And they'll keep raising their prices. Okay, it was Steve St. Angelo was on Palisades Gold Radio. The internet channel YouTube channel is Palisades Gold Radio. He was talking about peak oil and what's going on, and the fact that Joe frickin' Biden sold off all of our strategic national reserves to the lowest level ever. And in order to fill them up, it's creating a problem with the world supply. And on top of that, he's pissed off OPEC, Saudi Arabia, and we're having get ready to get fucked.
Yep.
Anyways, thank you, Nancy, very much. And keep smiling out there. Who's next, man?
All right, we got Charles Gentry.
Says, how about that? BRICS has gone done and outnumbered the U.S. and has a more stable currency that is not oil and promise-backed. Well, oil-backed is a good thing, Charles. Now, the what he's referring to, folks, if you don't know, the U.S. dollar is also nicknamed the petrodollar as the world reserve currency, because the only way you were allowed to buy oil was using the dollar. So the dollar had value because everyone had to use it to trade internationally to settle debts for oil. Every country knows, and Steve St. Angelo also talks about this, it's our energy, the availability and cost of energy is what gives the United States its power. So by having all these deals set up with Middle Eastern countries, we offer them protection from those evil, rascally communists and from pirates and from this and from that. We'll protect you. We're world police. World police. So we'll offer stability in the oil price and delivery so that everyone around the world can get the oil they need so they can guarantee prosperity to whatever. And that really gave the dollar its strength, and it made oil available. Now they fucked the whole system up.
Right. The petrodollar, fine distinction, was not oil backed because we didn't have the oil to back it up. It was just the means of yes, it was military backed as a means to transfer oil. So there's a difference between what we had with the petro-backed dollar versus what they have with an oil-backed currency, if that is the case.
Yeah, BRICS, they can back. We're going to find out what they back their money. Jim Rickards, who is also responsible for the European Union funding debacle bullshit lie. He was part of that. I don't trust him any further than I can kick the bastard because he's part of the CIA also and the central banks. And he attended the Bretton Woods II conference. But he is insider and he is knowledgeable. He says that the BRICS currency is going to be gold-backed. They're going to announce it on the 22nd of August. And that's going to screw the dollar up even more. It's just like shit hitting the fan. It's not one single event. It's a series event that's going to bring us down and make things more difficult. So it's just another piece of the BRICS thing that's going on. Other countries saying, look, we don't want to be in your SWIFT system. We don't want to use your dollar. We shouldn't have to use your dollar. It's backed by nothing now. Your military, you sent all your bombs to Ukraine, and all of your soldiers are a bunch of flaming fruitcakes. So the military side's toast.
Well, you know what? There was an interesting thing I had a conversation with my partner about, and he's not so concerned. I mean, he's a financial guy. You know, he's not so concerned about this whole BRICS thing as a lot of people are, because he said, you know what? In my travels around the world, I've been to Russia, I've been to around India, every third world Middle Eastern country and everything that you can imagine. And until somebody will recognize that BRICS-backed currency being handed over at, you know, some kind of a bazaar in an alley somewhere in Egypt or something like that, it's not, you know, they will all recognize the dollar and they'll sell you that pair of Air Jordans for $20. But, you know, if you go to hand them a euro or something like that, they don't want anything to do with it. So there's still a big psychological thing that the rest of the world is going to have to get over before they accept that BRICS currency as opposed to those US dollars that they are so accustomed to. And it's like ingrained in their culture that that's valuable.
Correct. Yeah. There is a huge psychological hurdle to jump over.
Yep.
So it can happen. It's not going to be a one-day event. It isn't. But can anyone argue intelligently that the United States government is a credible institution?
You know what, John, we've had this conversation, and by all accounts, every country in this entire planet should be bankrupt at this point. And, you know, we everybody keeps saying, oh, well, you know, when this line crosses that line and this and that happens, it's all going to go to shit. You know what? Nothing's going to go to shit until they decide to let it go to shit. Until they could get into position where it going to shit is going to benefit them more than it hurts them. I don't care how bad the economy gets, what the numbers look like in any of that. It's not going to collapse until they let it.
Correct. And when they do, look the fuck out. That's just it. Right now, everything is floated on loans and derivatives. Nothing is real anymore. The currencies aren't real. Investments aren't real. The only thing real is what you hold in your hand. But everyone believes that dollar has value. And until they're ready to let it go to valueless, it's going to be valuable because everyone, as you said, is psychologically trained to accept U.S. dollar. So we're in for one hell of a struggle and a fight.
All right, ready to go to the next room?
Oh, yeah, that's right. We got something to talk about. Yeah, let's do it. Heidi says, I saw where they're paroling one of Manson's girls. You know why? I'll tell you exactly why they're letting one of Charles Manson's girls go. Now, Charles Manson had a kind of a sex political murder cult going back in, was it the late 60s or early 70s?
I'm not sure. I was probably 6 to 10 years old at the time, but it was somewhere around then, yeah.
Anyways, she's been in jail 50 fucking years. You think she is anywhere near as bad as half the Antifa freaks out there? All she was a mind-numbed robot that participated in violent schemes. That's all of BLM and all of Antifa and all of the people in Washington, D.C. That's the FBI participating in violent schemes to screw people over and kill them. I just find it outrageous to think that we should give a shit about one of Manson's girls. She's probably scared to death to come out of prison.
At this point, she's also got to be in her 70s at least.
In her 70s, at least. Yeah, what was there? I mean, one of them had Squeaky Fromm. Was it Squeaky Fromm was one of them? Pow. Prepared mind strikes again. Squeaky Fromm. Fucking looking it up, man. I haven't said that name in probably 40 fucking years. Squeaky Fromm. Someone, I dare me to be wrong.
I am not real familiar with that whole thing. I mean, I know the generalities of it, but
there it is right there. I typed in Squeaky top pick. Squeaky Fromm.
Nice.
One of Manson's hoes. Oh, there she is. Yeah, failed assassin of U.S. President Gerald Ford. Squeaky Fromm was going to kill fucking Ford. Ford is...
Nikki in the chat says that he started building the cult around 1967. So, yeah, so it was probably early 70s when all that went down.
But Gerald Ford wasn't president until Nixon resigned in 73 or 74. Yeah. Wow. Hey. Nice.
Very nice.
Wow. Squeaky Fromm. Got it. Pulled that shit right out of the air, man. Who's the bitch now in this game? All right, man. What do we got?
All right. We got Village Idiot. Hey, no wonder, every village wants one. Village idiots are fun.
Every time we need credibility, right? We have name redacted, village idiot, right?
I love those names.
Nikki who hates apples. People are like, why does she hate apples? Village idiot. The worst thing the rest of the world can do to the U.S. is leave us to ourselves. We are our own worst enemies. I hear you, man. Yeah, no, the best thing the world can do is, I would love it if the whole world would stop using dollars, leave us alone, get the hell out of our way, and let us take care of our own business here. I think that would help us.
You know what? If the rest of the world cut us off and made us have to be self-sufficient again, like Russia is, there would be probably about a good 15, 20 years of pain.
Called SHDF.
But at the end of that 15, 20 years, we would be so much better off.
I agree. And it may happen whether they like it or not, depending on who pushes what button. It's possible. Unlikely, not probable, but possible. Anyways, Village Idiot, thanks for chiming in, man. Nice. Nice avatar. I put this thing up in the corner like, John is smart. Prepared mind. And then Village Idiot shows up. That's awesome. Good stuff. I fucking love it. All right, man.
We got another one from Jane, another two-parter here.
Okay. Question with Monsanto and Pfizer out of commission. Anyone else notice the chemtrails not happening now? I looked up today. The reason for my question is I live in West Cincinnati, and the skies are like checkerboards. Not this week. The skies are not like checkerboards this week. All right. That's good. I'm glad you don't have checkerboards. I checked today, and I was like, is that a chemtrail or a contrail? I couldn't tell. Where I live, we don't get a whole lot. Probably because every time the plane's going for a landing, the hillbillies shoot at them. All right.
Well, my first statement is you got to understand, Jane, that just because Monsanto and Pfizer each lost, some functionality in one facility, they have plants, dozens of plants all over the country. So, I think the Pfizer plant was a warehouse where they had packaging materials and some finished medicines and stuff like that. So, I mean, if they lose one of these facilities, there's probably a half a dozen that could take up that production and make that up in a very short amount of time.
I started thinking about an old joke about a guy who hang glided, and the hillbillies shot at the hang glider.
Not familiar with that one.
I'll have to tell you later. It has bad words in it. All right.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Let's move on. We're running out of time. Holy shit. Minute 59. Man, pick a good one and we'll close out.
Did you want to add anything to that, or was that good? Okay.
It's a great question. Great topic. I always keep an eye on it.
All right. We got a last one from Charles Gentry again.
Hey, Charles. Hunter's plea, meaning Hunter Biden, Hunter's plea deal would have sealed the much worse charges that are coming. The judge couldn't legally allow the plea deal. Hunter had to plead guilty. I'm going to follow up with that. Let's see. Here it is. Right here. I'm going to credit Kash Patel as the guy who brought this up. He says there's only two people who had the authority to offer this deal to Hunter, this plea deal. It was both the Attorney General and the Deputy Attorney General. So Merrick Garland and Monaco, the butch bitch. The law states that in a gun possession crime that has to do with narcotics, nothing, no pretrial diversion, nothing shall be granted unless the express waiver from the Deputy Attorney General or the Attorney General comes. That's why we know who it came from. It had to be the Attorney General's office that tried offering that. And yeah, now it's been shit on because it's bad. Now, or someone else tried doing it and the judge said that wasn't the Attorney General or the Deputy Attorney General. Therefore, it's illegal. They couldn't legally allow it. That could be the reason why it wasn't allowed.
And now, from what I understand, Hunter's guilty plea was based on that immunity agreement. So now that guilty plea has been put on the table for the time being, and they have something like 30 days to respond on both sides.
Right. It very well could have been that someone not in authority tried offering that plea deal. And because of the gun and narcotics issues involved, it couldn't be allowed.
Well, I guess the thing that called it into question was somebody on Hunter's side, whether it was his attorneys or something, they requested something to be revoked that they had no authority to ask to be revoked. And there was some shenanigans going on, and that's what got that all brought back into question, and that's why the judge reviewed it and said no plea deal.
But the trump card, as I started out this program, is the pardon.
Oh, yeah. You know what? They could make an example of Hunter. They could give him 1,000 years with no parole. And then the day before Joe leaves office, he pardons him and he walks.
The day they get done sentencing, Joe can pardon him for everything he's done up to that moment.
Yeah. There will be no consequences. So don't get all excited about, oh, it's really happening this time. Because it ain't happening this time any more than it happened all the other times.
They could Epstein him, and he can go live on an island somewhere and smoke all the crack cocaine, all the weed, snort all the coke, and bang all the underage hookers he can get his hands on somewhere else. And the whole world thinks he's dead, and they're celebrating. Yay! Because that's how these fuckers play this game.
There will be no consequences. So I caution everybody, don't get excited.
Chance favors the prepared mind.
And the prepared woman.
And the prepared woman. If you trust these dumb bastards at the local, state, and federal level to take care of this country, then you go right ahead. I'm not going to stop you. But I think the intelligent mind, the prepared mind, says, I don't like what I see, and I'm going to do something about it. Prep to action, just like that. Ooh, man, I'm going to check out. I got to go cook some pork and beans, eh?
All right. Well, we'll see you guys all tomorrow. Be good.
Hasta la vista, Plaza del Domingo. Semper Fi, God bless America.